Okay, hi guys. Apologies, my room is such a mess, but I'm just trying to figure out some decent lighting. I'm using mostly natural light, so if it fades in and out, that's why. Today I wanted to talk about the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Stick Foundation. It is a foundation that I actually really hated, and I wrote a blog post, which if I can link that I will. But I wrote a blog post on it back in March 2017, so like almost 2 years ago, saying how much I hated it, how much it really, I have oily combination skin and it really accentuated everything. Within an hour my face would be like an oil slick and it was not a good look at all. So, but recently, I think about 2 months ago, I picked this up on a whim. I was in a rush and this is the closest thing to me. And later on that day when I checked my makeup, it actually worked really well. And what I found is that the best way to use it is by doing as little to it as possible, just putting it on bare skin, just cleansed, fresh bare skin, no moisturizer, no primer, no SPF. I know, but you can add SPF later. It Cosmetics do a nice compact that you can add SPF to your skin. And yeah, I just put it on bare skin and I blend it out with a kabuki brush and I set it with minimal powder, and honestly it lasts all day. Sometimes, depending, it can settle into my fine lines after about 6 hours, but apart from that it's really good. So I'm just going to show you now how I put it on. I have the shade Golden Tan and it looks like this, and you only get 0.25 ounces of product. I've literally been using it every day for 2 months and I still have quite a bit left, because honestly you really don't have to use much, but it is £42, so I mean it's a lot of money considering in a standard foundation you get an ounce of product. That's a quarter of the amount that you'd normally get and you're paying £42 for it. So this is the Bdellium's 957 brush. Can you see that? Yeah. And it just looks like this, flat top kabuki. And see how quick that was? So like I mentioned, this is in the shade Golden Tan. They do have a nice shade range. I think they have about 40 shades. Literally this is all I do, and then if I want to I'll blend around and then make sure I get my neck. My lips are so dry. But yeah, that's literally all I do. And if you want to look at my skin up close, like obviously I definitely have pores and like my skin's just not the best. I have spots because I'm really not on that new year, new me shit just yet. And then I use my Wilko's powder brush to set my face with powder usually. I can't find my powder, but there's some powder on here. And I just set it. I get the oiliest around my nose and I'm really paranoid about my smile lines, so I have baked my smile lines a few times, but you absolutely do not want to do that because it will settle into your fine lines. The good thing about this foundation is it is really creamy, so you can just rub it out if it does settle in, but I just prefer not to. And I don't typically use concealer on an average day. I just don't really need to personally. I think this is another pressed powder, which I think is the best way to go with it, because pressed powder is really hard to overdo, and I highly recommend the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder as well as this one. It gives a nice glow and the matte powder just keeps your face looking fresh all day. And then I can't bother with bronzer, so I'm just going to go with the B blush in the shade Darl. You can get this from Superdrug. It's a really nice blush. Can you see how pretty that is? It's like, oh, it's so pretty on my skin tone. So I just put it on my cheeks, my nose, my forehead, my chin. And then because I'm actually in the mood to go out and get something, I need to get some mascara. I've made a poll on Instagram stories and everyone told me to get the Lash Paradise mascara, so I'm going to go get that. I'm just applying the Nars Laguna bronzer. Can you see that? How much I've used this? Oh, it's not the Laguna, it's the Casino bronzer. I'll link everything below. And normally I contour my nose. And this is the Bdellium 9860 brush. There you go. And then that's just it. And that's my full face using the Hourglass. It lasts all day. And I have a blog post on it which I will link below. And I promised you guys a video. And I've made a video and it sucks. But I hope you appreciate it. And I might come back and do a review, like a live tutorial on the Lash Paradise from L'Oreal makeup. I hope you enjoyed it.